India, and my first stop is Auroville, a unique experimental city that exists beyond religion, politics, and borders. With all the chaos and division in the world right now, I wanted to go somewhere that was heading towards human unity. In this video, I'll be sharing my experience over the last 5 days in Auroville, what I saw, how I felt, and my lasting impressions. I'm stressed about my visa for India. It's 8 p.m. and I meant to fly out at 5 p.m. tomorrow and I still don't have it, so I don't know what I'm going to do. Please. I got my visa. It's been granted. I had to end off with a mango lassi. The final call, and typical me, I'm not paying attention and I'm about to miss my flight. Boarding my flight to India and I feel very good about it. I'm a little bit nervous because, you know, India has a bit of a reputation for solo female travellers, but I'm really optimistic about it, so look forward to letting you guys know how it goes. I bought my tickets through AirAsia and they provided a full-on meal for a 1-hour flight. I've just arrived and it's freaking hectic. I'm just trying to figure out where to get a mobile phone. I've been being sent left, right and centre. So usually I don't like to land in a country for the first time at night, but I planned this poorly and ended up arriving at 6 p.m. My whole overall trip took about 4.5 hours, resulting in me catching a train, a sleeper bus, and a random scooter ride home. Ironically, as unsafe as this all sounded, I actually felt super safe the whole time, and I found the locals to be really supportive and helpful throughout my journey. I made it. I've arrived to Auroville. It's currently 1 a.m. and I've had quite an adventure here. I had to take a train and then a bus. I ended up being on a sleeper bus for like 3 hours or so, and then I got on a scooter with this random guy to get me here. But anyway, I'm here, I'm safe, I'm tired. This is my accommodation. It's just a private room. I really want to take a shower, but the bathroom situation is a whole nother thing. There's no light, and I think I have to like just pour water on myself, and I'm just way too tired to try to figure that out right now. So I am going to be disgusting and just sleep in the state that I'm currently in. But I'll give you an update on what's happening in India after I've had a bit of a rest. See you soon. For everyone who has never heard of Auroville before, it's based in South India. I actually flew in from Chennai from Sri Lanka, and the reason I came here is from a recommendation from my dad. So Auroville is actually an experimental township. It's got a population of about 50,000 people, and the whole mission of this town is to consciously work towards creating a unified humanity. So it is really such an interesting space to be. When you think of India, you probably don't think of Auroville, but I'm based here for the next 5 days. It is actually one of the oldest and largest experimental townships in the world. Yeah, so I think a lot of people come here to meditate, find peace, and just to discover the whole concept as a whole. I have no game plan ahead, so I'm going to talk to my guest house supervisor of what I should do here, and then just make an action plan from there on out. But yeah, I've got 5 days dedicated to this space. I think it will be eye-opening, and looking forward to taking you on my journey.
Let's explore the first week of India together.
If you plan to come and visit Auroville, I recommend to visit their website. That is where you will find all of their guest house accommodation, and they have different levels of accommodation you can choose from according to your needs. My first visit was to the Sprout Cafe, which was a recommendation from the host of the accommodation I was staying in. It ended up being my favourite cafe, and I went there at least 3 times during my whole stay. I really had no plans for my trip in Auroville, so the first day I just spent the day walking around the city, looking at what it had to offer and trying to tactically plan my next few days ahead. The whole of Auroville is covered in trees and has dirt paths for you to walk along.
So when you arrive to Auroville, you need to get yourself an Auroville card or an Auro card. This is what they use for their currency here. Once you get it and it's loaded, you need to go to the town hall and you need to top it up with money. So I just uploaded 5,000 rupees onto my Auro card. I just used my FPOS to pay for it, and there was a small fee of 173 rupees. But basically now I just use this as a debit card. And if I don't spend all the money on this, then they'll just give it back to me in cash at the end. Look at this tree. Look at how cool it is. It has multiple trunks. Then it just grows into another tree. I'm kind of confused how it works. Currently at the viewpoint of the Matrimandir. They're in the process of doing a lake that will run around it, but it's not complete yet. But they say it will be 10 meters deep. So in the center it will tell you everything about Auroville, including how it came to be and where the concept came from.
East and west, providing 4 possible entrances to the structure.
Accompanying me on the walk home. Hello. I've had a really lovely first day in Auroville. I just had a shower, got changed, and I'm going to head off to grab some dinner somewhere close by.
You'll start to notice all the food that I eat in Auroville isn't traditional Indian food. In fact, because Auroville is an international town, a lot of the food is influenced from around the world.
Good morning, day 2 in Auroville. It's almost 9:30 and I've decided that I'm going to rent out an electric bike today and explore the city on wheels instead of by foot. Yesterday I walked around, which was really nice too, but things are somewhat far from each other, 2 to 3 kilometers, so I think I'll be able to see a lot more today with the bike. I've been waking up kind of late since I've arrived to India, around 8 or 9. I usually get up at like 6 or 7, so my days are a lot slower here, but I'm going to go get some breakfast. I need to plan the rest of my trip around India, and then I will just take it step by step.
This is my e-bike for the day. I'm gonna go get some breakfast.
Currently cycling. The hardest thing about Auroville are the streets aren't that defined. So I'm getting confused as to what roads I should be turning. To give you perspective, this is what all the streets look like in Auroville. Just arrived.
Every time I visited a cafe, I would get the recommended dish just by asking the staff, and usually a drink of my choice.
Dosa was delicious. Watermelon juice, questionable.
As you could see, offered 10% discount to anyone using an Oro card. It also gives a 50% discount if you come in on a Tuesday. One place that was highly recommended to me was the Auroville Bakery. Everyone spoke so highly of it, but personally, I didn't find it anything special.
Been craving a cookie, so I've made it with a nice iced Americano.
Auroville not only produces their own produce in terms of food, they also produce their own clothing and other commercial shopping as well. I walked into the store and all of the clothes were made from natural flower dyes and all hand printed, which I thought was so cool.
So Certitude is like a community sporting centre that I think you can do your sports here. Oh, there's basketball, volleyball, badminton, playground, tennis, dance floor. I have no idea what that is. Another tennis court. I'm doing this panoramic shot for you guys.
I spent about an hour mucking around in the sound garden. It's very interactive and lots of fun to do, and it was only 5 minutes from the accommodation I was staying in. Enjoy this ASMR. I hope you find peace and relaxation through my joy and creativity.
I'm a musician. This one's kind of cool. You play a game and it also makes music. Let's try. I did it! This one's a little bit unique. You get some stones. Inside it has metallic balls. In my tour I got a kefir drink. It's like a similar to kombucha but different. It is another fermented drink. My reaction. Kind of tastes like a flat lemonade. It's good though. For my dinner I got the falafel plate, so of course it has falafel but also some hummus and different raw veg salads. It looks like a bit of cabbage, slaw, okra, cauliflower, pumpkin, eggplant, pesto, carrots, beetroot and some sesame seed bread. It's really delicious. I've settled in for my hostel for the rest of the night. So Auroville is really safe to walk out at night, but as I mentioned, there's no street lights. So it's actually more of a safety issue in terms of being able to see and walk than it is to be attacked by anything, human, animal, whatever. But I knew this would happen, so I had an early dinner, and earlier in the day when I was biking around everywhere, I actually visited the Auroville bakery, so I'm doing a bit of an unraveling. I got an almond croissant. So people talk really highly about this bakery, but when you go visit it, it's quite unassuming. So let me see. It's a little bit dry. Okay, I've taken a couple of hours to get all my stuff organized and I am heading off for breakfast. I'm going to Solitude Farm. It's a place where all the ingredients are grown by the owner himself and it's open for both lunch and breakfast. So I'm heading there for breakfast now. Back on my trusty bike. To Solitude Farm Cafe. So what makes this space so special is that he grows all of his food, so it's really the definition of farm to table. The food is all vegetarian or vegan, I believe. There's no alcohol. It's just really natural. Food is looked at as medicine, and the menu changes daily just depending on what's available.
You'll notice that most of the restaurants and cafes around Auroville have quite a rustic feel. There are a lot of restaurants that are located in the middle of the forest.
I got a red rice dosa and a chico smoothie. I've never tried chico, but it was the chef's recommendation.
So the owner of this place recommended me this smoothie, and he actually did a half and half smoothie. He said that the chiku and ramphal are in season at the moment, so he did like a half, which is why I'm tasting it like this. If you're coming here for breakfast, breakfast is from 9 to 11:30, and lunch is from 12:30 to 3:30. If you come for breakfast, there's only two things on the menu, and they were sold out of one of them, so I just got whatever was available and recommended. But it's super delicious regardless. As part of my lack of daily planning, I stumbled upon this free store, which I originally thought was a second-hand store, but basically people from the community donate their clothes and in return can take any clothes that they like. I will just say, when I went in here, I just walked in thinking it was a second-hand store, and it wasn't. And then when I asked someone if I could try something on, I got told off for not introducing myself and asking about the concept. Though I agreed with what she was saying, I found like it was a little bit standoffish. But anyway, if you visit the store, make sure you introduce yourself, otherwise you'll get told off by the people working there. There are so many beautiful cafes around Auroville. In fact, later in my trip, I ventured out to Pondicherry, and a lot of the cafe and restaurant recommendations from Pondicherry are all based in Auroville.
I'm definitely gonna get that. That looks amazing.
The Conscious Cafe was another venue that offered delicious food and a really stunning atmosphere. This is freaking delicious.
Plant-based pasta. This is what I mean by the roads are so confusing. Are these even roads? I think this is the entrance to the botanic gardens, but I'm probably wrong because I'm wrong most of the time. Okay, so it's saying I am in the aroma garden, but it's super confusing because it just looks like there's a bunch of different accommodation everywhere, and I haven't really seen a garden spot unless they're talking about the forestry around the place being the aroma garden. Or is this the aroma garden? I don't know what's happening, but that's interesting. I was in fact wrong, and this is my 10th try on trying to find the botanic gardens. Hallelujah, I found it! And I have an hour to explore before it closes. So I'm currently here. I don't know where to go, but maybe I'll figure it out. I think these two trees represent me and my partner so accurately because I'm so clingy and obsessed.
I enjoyed walking around the botanic gardens, but I would say that Auroville in itself is basically a botanic garden, so if you're short for time, I wouldn't say this is a necessity.
I think I've unintentionally entered a maze. And I could just leave the maze, but I'm really curious to know what's in the middle, because there's usually something cool in the middle of a maze. There, in fact, was nothing interesting in the maze. It's too hot to be doing stupid things like this. I'm now here, but I'm pretty sure I just did this. Oh wait, I was there, so maybe I didn't. I don't know. Or I'm gonna keep going this way. I'm now here. It smells so good. Muda la papaya. Cheese and spinach crepe. with kumquat soda. This morning I am heading to Matrimandir for a meditation session. I booked it yesterday, so I'm actually really lucky that I got access, because usually people book a few days or a week in advance. Unfortunately I can't take my phone in there, so I won't be able to show you what it looks like, but I'll let you know how my experience goes.
First, you need to head to the Visitors Centre, where you'll watch a short video describing the Matrimandir and the beginnings of Auroville. Once you've watched the video, you'll hop onto a bus and head straight to the entrance of the Matrimandir. There, you'll be asked to drop off your bags and any other possessions you have before heading to another presentation discussing the Matrimandir.
It's 11 a.m. and I've just returned from exploring Matrimandir. I thought this would be a great opportunity for me to share my experience and my final thoughts.
As mentioned, Auroville is an experimental township in Tamil Nadu, India, founded in 1968 with the vision of creating a universal community beyond national, religious and political divisions. It was conceptualized by Mira Afasa, known as the Mother, who was a spiritual collaborator of Sri Aurobindo, a philosopher, yogi and freedom fighter. Inspired by Sri Aurobindo's teachings, the Mother envisioned Auroville as a place where people from all over the world could live in harmony, dedicated to human unity and spiritual process. Auroville's philosophy is based on collective living, sustainable practices and self-development. Residents strive to transcend personal ego and materialism, focusing on inner growth and the evolution of consciousness. At the heart of Auroville lies the Matrimandir, the soul of Auroville, a golden sphere-shaped meditation center. It is considered the spiritual nucleus of the township, symbolizing the divine presence of inner realization. After walking through the gardens, you'll enter one of the 4 entries of the Matrimandir. This is a complete zone of silence, so no speaking is allowed. You'll first enter the bottom layer, where you'll see a fountain with a small crystal globe. Next, you'll enter internally, walking upwards through a pathway until you reach the central meditation space. The space is dark and can reflect the smallest of sounds, which is kind of funny because somebody actually did fall asleep and started snoring behind me. In your first visit, you'll be allowed 15 minutes to sit in this room and meditate. After this time, they'll lead you back out of the Matrimandir and you'll have about 30 to 45 minutes to look through the gardens before the buses come to collect you and bring you back to the Visitors Centre. After the tour, I went to visit Solar Kitchen. Solar Kitchen is a place where all the locals come to eat lunch. Everyone that works there is a volunteer and the menu changes on a daily. When you go in, you either pay or sign up if you're a local, and there is a buffet style menu provided. At the end of the meal, make sure to wash all your plates and put them away before leaving. After lunch, I headed back to my favourite, the Sprout, to grab a coffee and do some editing.
Since it's my last night in Auroville, I'm just going back to the places that I liked today. So I'm just going to go back to the same place that I went yesterday. I'm back. Today they've served breadsticks. Smells phenomenal. Rushing home before I can't see anymore.
Now this is what you call setting a scene. I'm leaving Auroville today and I wanted to leave with my final thoughts. I spent the last 5 days in Auroville and it's been a really eye-opening experience. I've gone through quite a mix of emotions in terms of, do I like this place? Do I not like this place? Is this place for me? And at the end of the day, I'm feeling pretty neutral about it. I'm really glad I got to experience Auroville. I think I didn't take advantage of everything the community had to offer. For example, they have so many different workshops you can attend, whether it's pottery, dancing, language, any kind of skill that you want to learn, you can find here and try it out. They also offer different volunteer programs that you can do, like working on one of the mini farms in Auroville. And I didn't do either of those, and that's a really big shame, but there were a couple of different obstacles I had to go through to actually do those. One, I didn't even know how to attend these workshops or these volunteer programs, and by the time I realized how to do it, I had just run out of time. So that was one of the hurdles I had. But another one was, if the sun isn't out, it makes it really hard for me to commute places, as it is pitch black and there is no street lighting for me to actually walk or be able to see my way to the location. The highlights of my time here was definitely my visit to Matrimandir. If you come to Auroville, or if you're anyone who's into architecture or interior design, it is an incredible space to visit and I highly recommend. Some people even just do day trips from Pondicherry to Auroville. Other highlights include the eateries around here. The restaurants and cafes are top tier. They are very modest in nature, but the concept of all of them is organic, most of the time vegetarian with limited meat options and locally sourced produce. So Auroville, like I mentioned, has various farms across the town and they utilize all the local produce seasonally to create their menus. Overall, they say that Auroville is a place that has no religion, no politics, no racism, and is a place to find the divine, create human unity, and find your superior consciousness. I don't know if you need to come to Auroville to find your superior consciousness, but I do think it's a space that facilitates that. I would like to think that you can do that anywhere in the world. When I first arrived, a lot of people said that this is a space where people come to find inner peace as well, which I can see from the layout and the structure of the community. Auroville offers a unique experience, one that I think is hard to find in other places of the world. It is very humble in nature and it is a time to connect with yourself, connect with your surrounding, and really focus on what you're looking for or searching for in your life. So if you have a chance or you're in the south of India and want to experience something new or feel a bit more connected with yourself, I would recommend that you come here. Do I think 5 days was enough time to really understand the essence of the community and the town? No. I think that to understand that it takes months, if not years, but I was able to get a glimpse of what Auroville stands for and what they're working towards in the future. Hope you enjoyed the vlog. Would love to hear your thoughts. If you've visited Auroville, let me know. If you're thinking about visiting Auroville, let me know. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for joining me in Auroville. Next stop, Pondicherry. See you there.